Hello, this is Craig Lane with our herbal sort of a video blog info tidbits. We have a couple of new items that I've been wanting to talk about for a few weeks, and this is what you're seeing right here is radish greens and potentially mustard greens. So I'm going to talk about both, and it's going to be two parts. I'm going to talk about them together because they have sort of dualistic heating and cooling thermal nature, and they also tend to come up early in the year, and they're what I call as a weed, a stabilizing plant for the earth. So if you look around here, this is radish green. And so today in the part one, we're going to talk about my observations just personally of the plant in sort of a permaculture model of their function on the earth and how that fits in with their function in the human body. You will also hear in the background some big waves breaking. I'm on the cliff north of Santa Cruz right here, and this is a common place these plants grow, is out off near a freeway, near where the soil's been disturbed, on hillsides, waste plots. And it's interesting because a lot of these plants actually are they filter waste out of the body, they detoxify. So the radish green here is one of the most alkalizing greens according to the macrobiotic people who studied this long ago. And my observation again is radish greens are a very, very good, easy cooking green. They juice well, they're a little bit fibrous, but when they're young, like if you look down in here on this guy, you look down there and you see these young tender leaves in the center of the sort of floret coming up. We can go over here and you can see one right there. Way down in there, there's a young green, and so you want these young ones, not these big giant ones here. And the mustard, so the radish green being a bit neutral, these are not the radishes you pick for the roots. This is the type of radish you pick for the greens because it's wild. And then the mustard that grows looks very similar to this, and the difference is the radish will have a white or a whitish purple flower, and the mustard will have a yellow flower. The leaves are somewhat similar, but when we find a patch of mustard by itself, we'll look into that. Mustard functions the same in terms of what it's doing. It's a very fast-growing weed, and I believe it starts to grow as soon as the rain stops, because in the earth's perspective, it's holding up the soil. And the difference I've seen in practice is mustard is a bit heating, and so when you've got that really a lot of clear white mucus profusely coming out, mustard's going to dissolve that well. The radish is better when you have heat. The radish green is. The radish green is much better suited for heat. There's a young little sprout coming up right there too. You can kind of see it right there. Right there, it's coming up. So right there, it's coming up. So there's the young one. So with radish greens, you want to be a bit, you don't have to be as bit careful. With mustard, you need to be careful because if you've got a fever and you're running hot, the mustard green will actually aggravate the situation. But in general, they're both very good greens, nutritious. I'd say the radish green's probably a bit more. And then our next blog, I'll begin out here filming, but I'll be saying more about the biochemical, pharmaceutical, elemental properties of this plant. But I wanted to just mention that this is one of the early plants. It's free, it's growing prolifically everywhere, grows very quickly, and that mustard you grow for the seed or the greens, because mustard seeds, all about prepared mustard, and radish you can actually grow for the seed, the green, or the root. And there's all kinds of radishes, and we'll go into that tomorrow a bit. So this is Craig Lane signing off with part one of mustard and radish greens, early season soil stabilizer, at least here on the west coast of California. And I work with Health Alchemy of healthalchemy.com, ALK as in kitten, EMY, healthalchemy.com. Craig Lane signing off.